What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Pokemon Conspiracy Theories. Today we are going to be looking at the secret of the Old Chateau. Now, you guys may be wondering, what is the Old Chateau? Why was it there? This conspiracy theory is more in the form of like a creepypasta or a story. So I'm just going to go ahead and read that story right now and then do a little bit of analysis on it after. Quite some time before the events of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, a man and his wife lived in the Old Chateau. They had a daughter and lived a quiet and peaceful life. There were several butlers working in the Old Chateau. One of them was called Sharon. He had a knack for messing around with electrical equipment in the mansion. One day he went into the basement of the mansion to fix an electrical problem from a recent thunderstorm. As Sharon was fixing the problem in the basement, he found a peculiar looking object in an unused washing machine. He messed around with the object, which he called a motor. After a couple of days, the motor came to life. Sharon realized this certainly was not a motor, but a new species of Pokemon. He called the Pokemon Rotom and adopted it as his own. Several weeks later, the man's daughter was having a problem with his microwave. She called on his favorite butler to fix it, but he couldn't do the job, so he called on Sharon to help him. Sharon didn't know how to fix a microwave either, but he knew that Rotom could transform into one, so Rotom transformed into a microwave. Before cooking anything, they decided to test the Rotom microwave. The test went horribly wrong. Flames came bursting out of Rotom's mouth and filled the kitchen with smoke. Sharon commanded Rotom to stop, but it couldn't. The smoke was starting to spread throughout all parts of the mansion. There is nothing that can be done except to evacuate. Everyone made it out in time, except for the man's daughter. One of the butlers quickly realized this and went in to find her. The butler eventually found her and realized the girl had been poisoned from the smoke. He searched everywhere in the mansion for medicine. He finally found an antidote in a trash can, but it was already too late. The butler started choking from the fire and eventually died from suffocation. The girl soon perished from carbon monoxide poisoning. Rotom felt emotionally depressed following the event, so he confined himself inside a television set for the rest of his life. Sharon, realizing the trouble and damage he had caused, ran away from the scene and later worked as a scientist for Team Galactic. The man's wife was distraught at what had happened, so decided to take up Pokemon training. She decided to train with the ghost type so she can communicate with her deceased daughter. She later became a gym leader in Hearthome City. The man, he was just as distraught as his wife. He built a mansion just exactly like the old chateau, but it didn't feel right. He returned to the old chateau and received a statue from the entrance hall, and the bodies of his daughter and the butler. He placed the statues in his office and the interred bodies in two separate rooms in his new mansion. No one is allowed to enter those two rooms. The ghosts of the butler and the girl still haunt the old chateau to this very day. The butler is still desperately trying to find the antidote, but he does not know that he will reach the girl in time. As for the girl, she is waiting for the antidote in her room, but she does not know if she will live. Okay, so a few points I want to go over before I review whether or not I think this creepypasta is true. I just want to make note of the fact that in the creepypasta, it mentions how the man's wife went to become the Hearthome City gym leader. The gym leader there is Fantina, and she does use ghost-type Pokemon, so that would mean that the owner of the mansion would have been married to Fantina. And in the games, the owner of the mansion would have been Mr. Backlot because he goes and makes the Pokemon Mansion, and he takes a statue from the old chateau. Or it doesn't explicitly say it's from the old chateau, but you would have to assume because there's a statue missing in the old chateau, and then there's one in the back of his office. I think it's called his office or whatever, but you're not allowed to touch it. And then on either side of the mansion, there are two rooms that you can't get into. Now, people have used action replays and gotten into these rooms, and there's nothing in there, but obviously Nintendo would not put two dead bodies inside rooms in a Pokemon game. I mean, that's just obvious. So, yeah, that's it for them. But, the other character, Sharon, or Charon, I don't really know how it's pronounced. In Greek mythology, he is the ferryman of Hades who carries the souls of the newly deceased. So, yeah, that might have been some foreshadowing or something. I don't know how that's pronounced, so yeah. Now, on to the legitimacy, I can't even freaking talk today, of this creepypasta. I'm going to give it about, I mean, obviously some of the details wouldn't make much sense, like you wouldn't really know some of them were just leaps, but it made a pretty good story, so I'm gonna give it an A+ on storytelling because I thought it was a really good story, and probably a 70% trueness on the events that happened there, because it would appear that most of the stuff they said would be logical things for the logical explanations for what's happening between the Pokemon Mansion and the old chateau. So yeah, 70% true. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this episode of Pokemon Conspiracy Theories. Subscribe for more of these. We'll keep on getting better and better as I do it. We're going to go more in depth in different theories. And be sure to like, I already said to subscribe, but you can subscribe twice all your YouTube channels. So, peace.